kept on doing the fuck cheer, and everybody kept on loving it. But later on, we were playing in Worcester, Massachusetts, and Jim Morrison had supposedly exposed himself in Florida at the time, although we don't know if he really did or not. But anyway, the authorities were jumpy-wumpy, and there were 2 cops there, and we did the fuck cheer, nothing strange happened. But the next day we went to Boston to play at the Boston Gardens. It was a big, huge place where they had bicycle races and sporting events. And when we got there, we were met by 100 uniformed police officers with guns, clubs, and mace, and 2 squad cars and 2 paddy wagons. And I was in the dressing room, and they said there's a police captain out here wants to see a guy named McDonald. So I flushed my stash down the toilet, and I went out to see him. There's a big, tall Irish police captain, which is a requirement for making captain in Boston back then. I think anybody can make captain now, or sergeant major perhaps. Anyway, yeah, he was green-eyed. Yeah, that's it. Red hair, right? Yeah, right. And freckles. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, you saw the guy. Yeah, you know. Yeah. Irish police guy. Yeah. He looked at me and he said, the Worcester police called us and told us about the show last night. I said, that's great. He said, no, don't say it here. I said, what's it? He said, you know what I mean. I said, no, I don't know what you mean. He said, yes, you know what I mean. I said, no, I don't know what you mean. He said, yes, you do know what I mean. And he started to turn red and shake all over. Well, the sergeant standing beside him pulled me over in the corner. He said, come on, be a little cooperative. I said, no problem. He said, well, don't say it here. I said, what's that? He said, you know what I mean. I said, no, I don't know what you mean. I knew what they meant when I wanted to hear them say it. I wanted to make them say it, but there's a law then that cops couldn't say fuck on duty in Boston. That's changed now. He took me back to the captain. The captain said, if you say it here, we're going to beat you up and take you to jail. I said, oh, I know what you mean. Right. So I went back and we had one of those horrible things that we always had back then, band meetings, you know. We discussed at great length the pros and cons of getting beaten up and taken to jail. And over the word fuck. And we decided, nah, we're not going to do it. So we decided we'd spell out love that night. And so we went up on stage, and behind the Chicken's drums there was 25 guys with crew cuts and sunglasses and trench coats. They weren't our roadies. We could see the back door open. There was those paddy wagons out there that would take us away to prison, and you know, and in front of the stage there was like 100 uniformed police officers with guns, clubs, and mace and helmets, and the at parade rest facing the audience, and the captain was pacing back and forth, staring at me the whole show. His face was twitching nervously, you know, and then we spelled out love that night. Thoroughly confused the audience, but afterwards the deaf people.
How many black people were there?
6. I think.
Don't fucking talk, you ain't a man.
Boo.
Right.
Boo. You suck.
Well, after the shows, we'll have a little talk about whatever that meant. I am one of, as my AA sponsor tells me, you're one of 3.25 billion men. So there. Anyway, the captain put his arm around me and said, you can come back anytime you want. I said, oh, fuck you. So we went home and the band broke up, and I got a job a little while later working in Worcester, Massachusetts. And my lawyer said you can't go to Massachusetts because there's a warrant for your arrest for leading the crowd in a lewd, lascivious, and wanton cheer. So I didn't know what that meant, but it didn't make any difference. I got a lawyer. I went there at this appointed date, and I was met at the airport by Phyllis Hoffman, Abby Hoffman's sister, because the Hoffman family had a medical supply house in Worcester, which might explain Abby's behavior a little bit. We went over to the courthouse and we walked in to try to find the room where my trial was going to be, and the sergeant of arms stopped Phyllis at the door. He said, I'm sorry, women are not allowed in the Worcester court with slacks on. And so she said, that's cool. And she went in the toilet, took her pants off, and wrapped her coat around her waist, and said, okay, you can come on in now. And so we went in, and the trial began. So there was 2 women who had been at the concert that night, and the prosecuting attorney put them on the stand and said, asked them if they were offended by the cheer, and they said no, they weren't. So he didn't know what to do. There was no one left in the courtroom except me and the stenographer and the judge, you know, and Phyllis. So anyway, he put me on the stand to prove I was offended by the chair, which I had to admire him for taking that tack. That's some kind of tack. I didn't think it would work. He said, Mr. McDonald, you have a daughter, right? I said, yes. He said, try to imagine she's standing around on the street corner saying, you know what, with her friends. I said, well, who started it? He said, I don't know. I said, I don't know what to tell you. He said, well, try to imagine that you sit down to dinner one night, your daughter says, pass the fucking salt. What do you think about that? I said, well, she's only 2 years old. It'd be her first coherent sentence. I'd be proud of her. The judge didn't find that funny at all. And he said, I don't get it. What's the connection between this obscene word and the war in Vietnam? And I said, well, upon finding out you're going to Vietnam, you certainly would say, oh, fuck. Well, he didn't find that profound at all. He fined me $50, and we appealed the case. It was later thrown out of court. But anyway, I got the story out of it. So that's something, I suppose. And in America, the President of the United States is also the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces. He's always a civilian. I used to dedicate the fuck cheer to the fucking Commander-in-Chief. Through a lot of different presidents, and during the Bill Clinton administration, the term fucking Commander-in-Chief took on so many different levels of meaning that I really miss the guy for that joke anyway. But I would like to dedicate the fuck cheer tonight to George W. Bush, and I hope he finds somebody in the Oval Office to start fucking and stop fucking over us. So here we go. Give me an F! F! Give me U! U! C! C! K! K! Spell! 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 Spell!
We're gonna have a whole lot of fun, and it's 1, 2, 3. What are we fighting for? Don't ask me, I don't give a damn. The next stop is Vietnam, and it's 5, 6, 7, and open up the pearly gates. Yeah, ain't got time to wonder why. Whoopee, we're all gonna die. Come on, Wall Street, don't be slow. Our man is for a go-go. There's plenty of money to be made. Our army went to penetrate. Just up the way, they dropped the bomb. Drop it on the Vietcong. And it's 1, 2, 3. What are we fighting for? Don't ask me, I don't give a damn. The next stop is Vietnam. And it's 5, 6, 7. Open up the pearly gates. There ain't no time to wonder why we're all gonna die.
It's my spoon player. I forgot to ask him to come on there. You can't find any spoons. Oh yeah, here we go. There we go. That's what I'm talking about.
That's good. That is fucking dead.
And it's time to do this with my leg.
That is such a good fucking video, man.
Here we go.
Is Vietnam, and it's 5, 6, 7, open up the pearly gates. There ain't no too late. Be the young one on your block and get some on the box. 1, 2, 3, what are we fighting for? Don't ask me, I don't give a damn. The next stop is Vietnam. And it's 5, 6, 7, oh.